What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel. Welcome back to another jam-packed week of content. This week's theme is gonna be Father's Day exclusives. Now, we're not gonna look at every single one of them because we have already looked at the Star Wars Clone Wars separately in a separate Star Wars themed week about 2 weeks ago. I'll link those videos up above, as well as the NECA Doc Brown Target exclusive. We looked at that as soon as I got it in hand, so we will not be looking at those two. So we will be filling one day up with something else that I recently picked up that is not a Father's Day exclusive, but that I am super excited to share with all of you. But before we get into all of that, if you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunting them, taking pics of them, and of course, playing with them. I upload new videos every single day of the week, so make sure you hit that bell icon so you stay notified, because it's not always just one video, but sometimes it's 2 and even 3 in a single day, but you won't know until you stay notified. So make sure you hit that bell icon. And while you're at it, if you do enjoy this video or any of my other ones, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. The YouTube algorithm really loves that. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, guys. It is a very small goal of mine to try to reach at least 1 new subscriber per new video that I put out. So please be my 1 new subscriber for this video. Thank you so much in advance. As always, the information on this channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector, and once again, guys, this week's theme is Father's Day exclusive from NECA. And like I said, we will not be looking at the Star Wars Clone Wars Father's Day exclusives or the Back to the Future Part 2 Doc Brown, because we have already seen those and I already have videos and reviews of those up. So I will link all those up above and you can check them out if you wanted to. But today we are going to take a look at the Walmart exclusive for the time being, because after a while these are going to be all wide releases. So if you cannot get your hands on these right now, do not worry. NECA did reassure us saying that these will be wide releases eventually. And in fact, you can actually already pre-order the black and white version of this guy on a lot of your fan channel websites like Entertainment Earth, Dorkside Toys. I'm not sponsored by any of those, but I have seen them up on those websites. So if you want those, if you're interested, you can check them out there. But with that being said, guys, we're going to be taking a look at the colorized version of the Walmart exclusive NECA Frankenstein's Monster. Now, if you guys did not know, this is not Frankenstein. This is not Frankenstein. This is Frankenstein's Monster. That right there is Frankenstein. By the way, guys, what do you guys think of me using the boxes in the background, just kind of as like a background, so it's not so plain and white? You know, I'm not gonna show off the boxes while they're in the background. I do unboxings on my TikTok, so follow me over there, where I do show off the box while I'm unboxing. So if you want to see more of the box, you can follow me over on TikTok and check out my videos there. I'm pretty sure I did already post my unboxing of this guy there. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Should I continue to use the box as a background, or should I go back to the plain white? Because sometimes I don't know if it distracts from the figure itself, or if the white's just a little too plain for you guys. You guys let me know. You guys decide. I do what you guys want, obviously. But with that being said, let's go ahead and start talking about this guy. So anyways, that is Dr. Frankenstein right there, and this is Frankenstein's Monster. So with that being said and out of the way, guys, this guy is amazing. The sculpt, the paint apps, everything about it is great. Now, I am not a big horror figure collector, but I am a big horror fan, and especially the classics. I've seen Frankenstein before, and it is a great movie. You know, he is a very misunderstood, I guess you would say, monster, because he is part of the Universal Monsters, but he really isn't a monster per se until the mob kind of drives him to become one. Kind of like it's kind of, you know, poetic in a way, and it kind of, you know, shows us how society is and all this stuff. Sorry, I watched it in a cinema history class, and so we got all deep into it. But I still would have definitely watched it in my own free time. I have seen a few of the other, you know, original Universal Monster movies, and I absolutely love them. I think my favorite one, and what I'm really hoping NECA comes out with, is the Creature from the Black Lagoon. I absolutely love that. And in fact, it was actually a very low budget film, and I just have a tendency to love low budget films because they have so little, and yet they do so much with it, and they make so much of it, with it and stuff, and they can do some amazing stuff when their backs up against the wall and they don't have the cash that, you know, like an Avengers status movie would have. But anyways, guys, let's take a look at the accessories that this guy comes with, because he comes with a decent amount of cool things. So first and foremost, he comes with 3 head sculpts. The first one here, which is the classic Frankenstein, just monster, evil stare. Next up, you have, of course, him laughing. because, you know, there are scenes with him laughing. I don't know which Frankenstein movie it is where he's smoking a cigar, but I always remember that scene because I grew up in Southern California, and I always used to go to the Universal Studios backlot tour. And on the tram, when they're telling you all the safety rules and stuff, like, oh, no smoking. And so they actually show Frankenstein smoking a cigar, and they're like, no, 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 Frankie. And he's like, oh, well, there I go making the mistake again, saying Frankenstein. It's Frankenstein's monster, guys. But anyways, I remember that scene in particular because I've seen it so many times on that tram tour. So that's what this head sculpt reminds me of, because he's smoking a cigar and laughing because he actually likes it. So, you know, the stuff they were able to put in movies back in the day. So this third and final head sculpt he comes with is this one right here, where he's a little more confused looking, a little more, I don't know, confused looking. I'm going to go with that. So besides those three head sculpts, he does come with 2 pairs of hands. So as you can see, right, or 3 pairs of hands technically. He comes with these in the box, which are his typical grabbing hands, which is him basically just walking towards his victim. He has this open hand that I like to use to put the double flower accessory in, which we will take a look at in a second. He also has a very open hand, and the detailing in these hands is just amazing. You can see the veins on his hands, the black nail polish on the nails. Just look at all the stitching even right here in the palm of the hand, where you can tell that it's not, you know, one hand, but it's 2 put together. That is some amazing detail, and honestly, for the price point that these things are starting to rise, I appreciate that. At least NECA's stepping up the detailing game. Not that they've ever been lacking in that category, but just the fact that their prices are going up, it's nice to see a little more detail. So he comes with another relatively open hand, but it is slightly different. So if you hold it sideways, whoops, and you hold this one, so you can see right and the left, but this one's a little more curved in, so you get a little slight difference. And last but not least, you of course get a hand to hold the single or the double flower, whichever one you want to put in there. So talking about the flowers, let's take a look at them. He does come, of course, with a single flower so that he can hold. Very famous scene of him, you know, figuring out what flowers are with a little child, and then him unknowingly kind of hurting the child and kind of turning the whole town against him, and that's what makes him believe he's a monster, despite him, you know, actually trying to save the girl from drowning. But, you know, you see a big ugly monster looking guy, and you see, you know, hear a little girl screaming, you're gonna think he's a monster, not, oh, this guy's trying to help her, you know. So, but a very famous scene of him and the flowers. And last but certainly not least, he comes with hand shackles. Now, they sound plasticky, but they are pretty sturdy, but they sound like maybe they're metal plated plastic. I'm not too sure, but they're nicely detailed, nicely painted. So they don't open or anything. You just pop his hands off and then slip them in and then pop the hands back on. That's how you get these on, so don't go try opening them or you will break them. So that is all the accessories and everything that he comes with. So with that being said, let's pull Frankenstein's monster forward and get a closer look at him. So as you can see, when we pull him forward, he is just amazingly detailed and amazingly done. So much so to the point where if you look right here, he actually has even like scarring on his neck. That's not the end of the neck right there. That's actually detailed scarring. So when you pop the head off, oh, sorry, Frankie, he has a scar right there. Like, that is some great detailing right there. Now the jacket is glued on, so you can't open it fully, but it is a soft plastic, so it doesn't hinder his articulation too badly. But all in all, I absolutely love the detailing in all the clothing, the wrinkles. That's the great thing about NECA. They know how to hide those knee joints when they're wearing pants. Now, when they're not wearing pants, it's a different story, but he obviously is wearing a full suit, so NECA was able to hide that joint very well. But all in all, just nicely detailed. Just going slowly so you guys can take a nice little look to see what he looks like all the way around. I don't have one of those spinner things. Maybe I should invest in one of those so he can spin around for you guys and I can just talk freely. But anyways, guys, talking about, let's get into his articulation. So he can go all the way to the right, as you can see, and like I said, look at the detail right here in his neck right here. That's part of the head sculpt right there, that scar. But he can look all the way to the left, and he does come with the bolts right there, as you can see, on either side. His neck also is a separate joint in there, so you do get a lot of play with that and whatnot. So he can look down pretty well too, which is nice, because you know Frankenstein usually towers over his victims and over people, so he's usually looking down at them. He can look up somewhat decently, pretty decently, and then of course regular right there. So looking at his arm articulation, this one was pretty good in terms of a NECA figure. He wasn't super stiff. Ooh, that's something I hadn't noticed. Look at that detailing right there in his arm, the stitching and everything. I had not noticed that. That is really cool. Okay, but anyways, the articulation was not super stiff, which is really nice. So his arm does go all the way out like that. You do get 360 rotation right there, as well as a single hinge elbow joint, but it goes slightly past 45. Rotation at the elbow right there. Looking at his wrist, it rotates and it hinges in and out on both sides. Looking at his waist articulation, he does rotate. Guess he does have a little bit of an ab crunch right there. Not too much, but just a bit. Can't really lean back other than standing up straight. Looking at his leg articulation, he's not going to really be doing the splits for the monster mash, but you do get pretty wide stance. He can kick out that far. Kick back not too far because of everything that's put together on him. His knees are single hinge, so they go like that, and you do get rotation at the knee right there. So looking at his ankle, this ankle is super stiff, so let's go ahead and take a look at this one. It goes down about that far, goes up about that far, and of course ball rocker joint. So I hadn't really messed around with this ankle, and I didn't notice that was that stiff. But other than that, the rest of the articulation on this figure was already really decent. It wasn't all stiff. It wasn't all like, ooh, if I move this it might break, like it is in most cases with NECA figures. So I feel like they're getting better. But with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at some creepy, scary pics that I took of this guy, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you enjoyed those pics, you can find the full images over on Instagram at CoolFigurez, and I did recently start a separate Instagram account for more of my more thought out, planned out, more edited shots called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. So go ahead and check that out, and if you like what you see, leave me a follow. But with that being said, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, guys. But whether or not you're a subscriber, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys. I really do appreciate it. As always, I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector, and check back tomorrow for day 2 of Father's Day NECA exclusives.